So we're back. Last time we were chatting with Kyra, we had just hit, what, 50K a month?
Yes.
And we said we would do another video when she hit 100K a month, which happened to be the very next month. We're a little overdue on doing this video, but I wanted to just sit down and chat with you and kind of get a little bit more of the behind the scenes of what that looks like. Because I think that sometimes people see, you know, big numbers, 0 to 120K a month in like 6 months, and they forget that there's a human behind that had all of the emotions, still has, you know, some of the emotions. Yes. And I figured we could kind of chat through what that journey looked like a little bit more transparently this time. So first question for you is, did you always know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Like, I've known you for a little over a year now, but before that, were you the kind of person that was always going to be an entrepreneur? Was it touch and go?
Yeah, I knew for a really long time. I just didn't know what. So I went through that, you know, journey that everyone goes through where you're at your traditional 9 to 5 and, you know, you're making good money, you have good benefits, but you just kind of go in every day being like, this can't actually be it.
Yeah.
There's something missing. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I always had the confidence of knowing that I was going to build this business. But of course, I am still a human and had the normal emotions of starting anything new. Right. When you start something new, it's scary, which is why I always invest in mentorship, because I don't want to do it alone. Yeah. I want to have somebody just give me the plan so I can just show up and execute.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had all kinds of emotions. For me, it was more so the imposter syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Every time you start something new, it's like, oh, what will they think? At every single level.
It never goes away either.
Yeah. That's what I'm noticing, you know, now. But at every single step of doing the next part of the program, there were always like, oh, what if, you know, my new clients think that, you know, this isn't good because there's only like 5, you know, founding members, right? What will they think? Or, you know, putting out my first, you know, set of reels. And it's always going to be a little bit scary.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's like the number one human fear is fear of being perceived. So it makes sense. It's like, even if you're comfortable being perceived in some capacities, because in sales, obviously, like that's pretty vulnerable.
Of course.
It's a new capacity that you're entering in. So your brain's going to throw up like all the red flags as per usual. What did it look like first month? So if we journey back to, what was it, November?
December.
Around November, December 2026 or 2025 now.
Yes. So the first month was just getting started. And I think the first struggle was getting on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Right?
Because getting on the Instagram.
Yeah, getting on the Instagram. Oh, God. That was the first journey, because then, you know, because the high ticket sales space is not really that big, right? We all kind of know each other. I was a little bit worried and nervous that, you know, people would judge me, or, you know, someone would do a stitch, or, you know, those reaction videos, you know, which ended up happening. The first one ended up being honestly amazing, to my surprise.
Which I love for you.
Yes. I was like, yay, it happened. And it was good.
The exact opposite of what you thought was going to happen.
Exactly. But it was that, and then also getting the founding members in, right? With virtually like 0 following, right?
Yeah, because you started with, I always say 28, but you're like, no, it's 0.
0. Yeah, like we started with literally 0. I remember being like, I need to start this.
Yeah.
And so we started at 0, got the first set of founding members in like within the first couple of weeks. And then, you know, we did 7,500 with almost very minimal effort.
Yes.
Because, you know, we were testing the market and the offer, and obviously it was very good. So that was month 1, essentially.
Yeah. And it's little effort in terms of what you actually have to do, but I think your brain perceives it as this big effort because you're actually overcoming all of these fears along the way.
Yes.
So it's like the actual doings, like we reached out to people, we made them offers, and we got people in. But I remember there was a lot of work for you at the time of just overcoming those little blockers as well.
Yeah, and that's what was so great about Creator Launch, because every time I would have these like little things that I knew ultimately I was going to do, but I was like, oh, like
you're like, I know it's me, but
I know it's me, but how do I help me get over this next mental obstacle? Because the strategy was all there, right? But it was the mental part of things that I just needed a little nudge or a little shift, or hey, like let's actually look at the strategy this way. That gave me new perspective, and I was like, okay, like I'm being held accountable. I just have to take the next step.
You kind of held yourself accountable, to be fair.
Yes.
You're like, look, I know I got to do it, but if you could just let me know, like, if I'm on the right track. I'm like, yes, of course you are.
Yes.
But no, to your point, I think like that is so much of the value of working with someone, whether it's just like telling your friend your goal. Now you have someone that's going to like push you and hold you accountable to it, or working like in a formal capacity with someone. There's so many times, I think, where your brain knows what it should do.
Of course.
It has, like, if all it took was information, we all have ChatGPT, we would all be successful. There's so many points that you know what you should do, but it's like that hurdle, that fear, that imposter syndrome, whatever it is just the loudest thing in the room. And you need to have something louder to help you overcome it. But I think you were very self-aware. So it was like little bits.
Yeah,
you didn't have to do
it was
too
little
much.
bits, but still, like, still having the accountability of like the creator launch team, and also knowing that like I had invested, it's like I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah. I remember you were like, because obviously you're on the team and I wanted to help you out. You're like, no, if I don't invest, like I'm not gonna take this seriously.
Yes.
And I think, that's obviously
I was like, I need to pay you.
Yeah, hold yourself accountable, which is good. What did month 2 look like? So I remember it was like $7,500 for your pre-launch.
Yes.
The second thing I remember is that you were like, we need to go quicker.
Yes.
But what did it look like for you in terms of like how you were feeling and where you were at?
Yeah. So months, like basically between January and February was when I was building.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when I was building live, which is something that you taught me. That's amazing. Because I wanted to like have it all built first and have it be perfect.
Professionally filmed.
Yeah,
and all
exactly.
this stuff.
But it's like, no, you got to actually like build with your avatar, because they're going to tell you exactly what they want, which was perfect. You killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
And so I was building live with them. And this is the part I had to be super patient, because I was testing a lot of content.
Yes.
Right. So that was kind of the most painful part, where it's like you don't really see a lot of traction.
Yeah.
I didn't really get many inquiries like here and there, but we hadn't quite set up the sales funnel just yet.
Yeah.
So, I was just in the phase of just building, and I knew it was going to happen, but I was feeling impatient.
Yes.
And I just needed to essentially keep following the plan, keep showing up, checking in with the team, looking at my analytics, and just kind of being like, am I on the right track?
Yeah.
And that was really helpful during that period of kind of, the void before profit happens, right? Yeah. So just getting that feedback loop from the team, and you just being like, yeah, we're on the right track, or hey, this looks good, or hey, I would do things differently. Yeah. Helped me really get through that kind of period of quote unquote uncertainty.
Yeah, because I think that's really, really common, is like, how long is this going to take?
Yeah.
Like we all want certainty so badly. And in business, the only certainty that you have is the certainty that you're showing up every day and doing the actions that lead to the outcome.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably a lot of people that are building right now that would love to hear your answer of like, how did you stick with it? Like when the progress is invisible, which we're not used to.
Yes.
And you were making progress, like you're still building trust with your audience. You're just not seeing the sale just yet. You'd already made your pre-launch sales, but we hadn't set up the sales funnel. Like beyond just talking to the team, like what kept you going?
Yeah, so it's a few things. Number one, it's not my first rodeo, right? So, having built that muscle as an entrepreneur, like, you just got to keep showing up, and it's going to pop off, right? Like it will happen. Just follow the system. Just keep showing up. But the second thing is like, I knew without a doubt internally that I was going to make this happen.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep doing the steps that are going to lead to the outcome that I ultimately wanted to create.
Yeah.
And it actually ended up then happening way faster than I anticipated.
You were stressing out because you thought you were going too slow. Because I remember you chatted to me in that period, and you're like, is there anything else we can be doing?
I
like,
know.
Just follow the process.
I know. And the other thing too, it's like very cheesy, but it's like, truly having like that self-belief and self-trust.
Yeah.
Because you're really the only one that can do it, right? And so it's going to be your mindset versus you, and you have to continuously choose the path that you're moving on, because that's the only way it's going to be created.
Yeah, and I think that's important, because a lot of the time it's easy to look at people like yourself, people that see success very quickly, and think like, oh, they never had any hesitation. They never had that little voice inside their head telling them to quit or anything. But you did. Not necessarily to quit, but you definitely had the doubt,
of course,
the hesitation, but it's like, it's not the absence of that creates success. It's the ability to argue back against it when it comes up, or reach out for help if you need it. So month 3, you got over your building, you got over
Yes.
that. What did like month 3 look like for you? If you
Same as
remember?
month 2.
Yeah.
Same as
Impatient. Yeah.
impatient, not much happening.
Yeah.
But that's when we started to build the sales funnel
Yeah.
to be implemented, which started in March.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then when you were talking about content, I think this is a question that a lot of people would probably have for you of, we were just really seeing what would work in the beginning because you started from 0.
Yeah.
What were you looking at the time to like, what was kind of your original approach of like, well, here's how I'm going to even start content? Were you looking at other creators? Obviously you had the creator launch system, but beyond that, was there anything that really helped you?
I think it was partially the creator launch system for sure, right? Looking at kind of like other outbreak videos and seeing like what other creators had success with. But also just for me, especially in what I do, was just sharing a ton of value.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to like share too much.
Yeah.
Right. Because I was like, what if I share too much? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, the reality is that they're still going to need even more support beyond that. And that's just what I started doing, and also just started showing up as more of myself, because that was the big thing that we talked about with personal brands. It's just like being a human.
Yes.
And like
the one thing everyone's scared to do.
Yes. And that was the biggest thing I had to overcome in the journey of building this new business. And as I continue to grow is like this like fear of visibility.
Yeah.
And like just leaning more into just being truly myself and, not having to be a version of myself or be too perfect, because that's really what people connect with.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was the other side of the content that made things different this time in terms of like being able to produce like successful and like quote unquote, like I'm not like crazy viral, but like viral.
But no, you're doing it. It's working.
Yeah.
You're making 6 figures a month. You're growing every month.
Yeah.
You're at 12,000 followers now.
Yeah.
I think. So you've gone from 0 to 12,000 followers and hitting 120K months.
Yeah.
In 6 months, which is amazing. So you're obviously doing the right thing. And I do think what you just said of like, oh, I'm not going crazy viral. People use that as the marker of success so much of the time. Like, oh, I need to have hundreds of thousands of followers and all these views. But it's like, what for?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
What's the point? To me, at least, the point is I want to build a successful business, number 1. Number 2, it's like I want to help people. And I think that's why you were so successful, is you were focused on the business side of it, not the views.
Yes.
And you were focused so much on just delivering value to a very specific person that you're speaking to every day. Not everyone, not the views, but like a very specific person.
100%.
And I think you found your voice in that as well. And I remember you reached out. It might have been like month 3 or 4. You reached out and you're like, I just want to say thanks. Like, this is the first time that it's felt like me when I'm doing my content. Because you tried to do social media previously.
Yes. Yeah. And it was just a version of myself that felt stifled, right? And the results were kind of stifled, right? So it was just so much. This was a thing. Content became fun.
Yes.
That's
what you reached out. Yeah.
Like I was like, content's actually fun. Cause like, and it was so easy because we were so clear on, what I had to offer, my exact niche, and like just getting to be myself. Like, like, I have a Chihuahua emoji.
She's in all the content.
I live in Miami, and it became fun because it just became easy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So then take me into month 4, because we're at what, month 7 now? So we only got 3 more months to go here.
Yes.
Some things definitely had to change between 4 and 7 to get to where you are now.
Yeah. So month 4 was when we installed the sales funnel.
Yeah.
And like we went like live with it.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't like a launch or anything. It's just like we had a sales funnel in place.
Yeah.
And that is the month we ended up doing 34K in revenue, 27 cash collected approximately. And I was like, oh, wow. And at the time I was still like closing full time.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really working on the business all that much, like maybe 10-ish hours a week. And I was like, oh, it's happening.
This is, now you're jogging my memory, because this is when we had the conversation, or around that time. I was like, Kyra, what are you doing? You need to quit.
Yeah.
You need to go all in on this. And I think that's probably an interesting thing to kind of chat through your mindset of as well, because even though you had the business that around the time that we chatted about that was like 30 to 50K a month.
Yeah.
Part-time.
Yeah.
There was still this little bit of hesitation to leave and to actually go full-time with it.
Yes.
How did you feel going through that? Like, what was coming up for you?
So at the time, because it happened just like kind of so quickly,
Yeah,
I felt like, oh, well, maybe that was just like a fluke.
Yeah.
Right. Like a good month, we got things started. And so I wanted to continue staying in closing. And also, I love closing, obviously. So I was just like, oh, we'll see how next month goes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
next month happened and it was bigger.
and then it was bigger.
Yeah.
Because we ended up doing like 56 cash collected. Right.
Yeah.
So even more in revenue. Right. And then
still part-time.
That was like even more so where I was like, okay, I definitely got to go.
Yeah.
Right. Because like I was barely working on the business. Like again, like even I don't even think it was like 10 hours a week because I was working pretty full time closing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I definitely got to go now because it literally doubled.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting it and I barely was working on it. So I was like, okay, I definitely got to.
That's when we had the real conversation.
Reprioritize all of my
What are you
time and
doing?
focus
Yeah.
and energy. Yeah, for sure.
But there was still that doubt. Even then, like even
Yes.
2 months of being consistent and growing.
Yes. And then I was like, oh, like in my mind, I was like, I still think maybe that was a fluke.
Yeah.
Right? Like
maybe it's all going to end and the house of cards is going to come tumbling down.
I was like, it's good. And I knew like part of me was like, we're definitely still growing. Right.
Yeah.
But then a part of me was like, well, maybe we'll go back to like 25 or like, I don't know if it's going to continue.
Yeah.
And that's also coincided with just becoming more visible, right? Where I started getting like people,
making
commenting,
videos about you.
making videos about me, critiquing me, like leaving, not so nice comments, things like that. And those were things that, because we continued working together, I was like, hey, like, I know it doesn't matter, but I'm feeling kind of like stressed or feeling kind of like not so good about this. And it's scary, right? Yeah. Especially, when your peers are critiquing you or, the people on the internet, like that I don't care so much about.
Yeah.
But then, that was creating a little bit of mindset. That was creating a bit of like a mindset obstacle for me because then I was like, do I show up more? Do I like scale back? Which like obviously is not the answer.
Yeah.
Right.
But it feels like it is at the time. You're like, oh, I need to like go away. Like you feel like you're almost doing something wrong.
Yes.
When people start to critique.
Yes. And I was like, okay, well, the reality is that like it's because my content is doing well. So of course they're going to critique it and it's a positive thing, right?
100%. Yeah.
And, and it just comes with the territory. So that was kind of the like over the next few months of like learning to just kind of like cut the noise out, right? And just like focus on what's most important, which is obviously my business, myself, my clients, the people who I love in my life, like that's what matters. And because and the bigger you get, the more noise there's going to be. And,
for sure.
And it's just kind of like normalizing the nervous system of like, we're safe and we're good, which is something, we talk about a lot.
Yeah, I remember that was kind of the common theme. And it's something I remind myself of whenever I'm having those freak out moments of like we're going to the next level and something's happening and I don't feel safe. It's like, no, you are safe.
Yes.
You have a roof over your head. You're still safe. You're still loved. This doesn't really impact anything what other people perceive you as. But at the same time, I think we're only designed to be perceived by like our tribe.
Yes, for
not
sure.
hundreds of thousands of people on the internet. So it does create a nervous system response. But I think it's just about like regulating through that and just reminding yourself, like, there's nothing I could say to you. And I said this so many times. I'm like, I can't make this feeling go away.
Yes.
But I can promise you it's going to be okay. And literally like the next day you're like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine now. I've gotten over it.
We're good.
And the more you expose yourself to, then like now you would never be stressed about the things that were happening like 3 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the other thing too, that was really important. Oh, I just had it. It was something. Oh, okay. The other really big mental obstacle as we were scaling, it was steady, but it felt quick.
Yeah.
Right. Was the fear of not being able to like fulfill at a great level, right? Because I'm like, what if we grow too fast? Even though it's like the thing that I was asking for.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Of course.
But I had a fear of like, what if, I can't, help people the way that I want to help people. But again, that's where you come in with the systems and everything like that. And, people are getting results. People are very happy in my community. So that was another kind of big fear around the success.
1,000%. And I remember the conversation of like, we need to change the program. I'm like, why? I'm like, because I'm scared that it's not going to help people. I was like, okay, well, what data do we have that it's not helping people?
Yes.
Like, all my testimonials are amazing. Like, okay, we don't need to change anything. And I think I share that because it's such a good representation. Like, we've all done it. And, you'll continue to do it. I'll continue to do it. But we have to be able to have that emotion of like, oh, something's not right.
Yes.
But then also objectively take a look at it and go, but is it really? And then make the business decision based on a regulated response, not the emotion.
One of the biggest things you taught me, which is this is like total gold, is like, don't create problems that don't yet exist.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I'd be like, what about this? And what about this? And you're like, well, is there evidence that there is actually a problem? Like, have you gotten feedback? Like, I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm like,
you're
what
like,
are we
we don't need to
solving
solve for this, right? Because I come to you with like, here's 20 things, and you're like, okay, so which of these are actually problems? I'm like, okay, this one.
Yes.
You're like, the 19,
yeah,
we're good. We're just gonna set those aside for now.
Exactly. And I think like focus as a business owner is the most important thing, because there's always going to be a million different things that you could choose to work on.
100%.
And that's like why I'm such a big advocate of helping business owners, is because it's so easy to fall into the trap of, number one, just reacting to your emotions. Something's wrong, I need to go fix it.
Totally.
And you're constantly in fight or flight, or you're just inspired and you have like 54 different ideas all the time. And then you create this business that's so overcomplicated, and you created it to have time freedom.
Yes.
And now you no longer have time freedom because you've created so much complexity. It takes hours and hours to manage all the time. And so I think one of the kind of quote unquote secrets to your success is like, we've kept it really simple.
Really simple.
Like, what is your team? So we're up to month 4. So did you have anyone on your team at that point? Like, what does the team look like?
Yeah. So month 4, when we started the sales funnel, I had one setter and myself.
Okay.
I'm obviously the closer, right? And then month 5, when we did the 56, we were still at one setter, one closer.
Yeah, so you're like
1%
margin. Yeah, all organic at that point as well.
All organic, one lead magnet, one program, one setter, one closer. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
No one else contracted or anything like that. And then it was the following month, which was month
5, I think, that you went all in, or month 6?
Yeah, month 6.
Yeah.
Which is when we did the first 120.
Yes. She
Yeah.
killed it.
Yeah, we absolutely smashed it. And that's when I added a additional setter, but I was still the primary closer.
Yeah.
At the time. But then I was like, I need to start looking for my closer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's when that happened. And I was like, oh my God, we did it.
I'm like, look, even if you only made 50K next month, you're killing it.
Exactly.
But that wasn't the case. You went on to keep repeating it.
Yes.
And I think after the second month, the third month, we were just chatting about this. That's when it starts to feel like it's repeatable.
It's repeatable. Yeah. And that's when we did, I think, 101 cash collected. And right now we're sitting at 98, and we still have like a week left. And my DMs have been shot for the last week. So we're still making money. Yeah. We're still making money. So that's good. But that's the thing that I know I shared in the last video, is just like actually having a system where you can repeatably get clients and leads to convert.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing I never had in previous businesses, where it was just so predictable.
Yeah.
You know, most people are kind of like guessing, like, will it happen this month?
Yeah.
Which is like where that way of thinking came from. But now I'm like, oh, we can just
reverse engineer the math.
Exactly. And like, you know, now we have data on like how many organic calls we typically book a month. And now that we've started ads, right, which has been another great learning with you, it's like, oh, and, you know, obviously we're making money on the ads. Yeah. No surprise. But it's interesting to learn like how we can actually just dial it up slowly, but surely, so that we are always, you know, in the profitable zone with the ad spend, while still obviously generating more clients consistently and predictably.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of people default to ads. Like, you've done a lot of calls with business owners, you know, this is when they're not getting leads and when things aren't working, they think, oh, I need to turn on ads.
Yes.
That is not the time to turn on ads. Even if you're getting antsy and you think it's going to be the solution, it's not, because you have a broken sales funnel. You need to prove that first. There's very, very few situations where ads are going to be the solution. So I think we really did things right with you, where like you were making 100K a month organically, more than
which
that.
is insane.
More than that before we even started with ads. Like, we didn't need to.
Yeah.
Now that we have started with ads, did you have any like hesitations, fears? Obviously, I know that you're someone that has shared in no uncertain terms, you're like, tech is not my friend.
Yes.
Was there any fear around like, because like obviously Meta, the ad platform, is like not fun to use?
I mean, having used step by step, just follow the plan.
Click here.
It made things a lot easier. there wasn't really a fear, but it was just, different and new to be spending money to make money, like in that sense.
Yeah.
Because, I've heard all the horror stories around ads, but it's because they were doing things wrong.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So, no, it was easy, and we went slow and steady. And, as we were seeing positive returns, we just continued to spend more and more, and then make more and more.
So that kind of brings us to present day.
Yeah.
What is kind of your next goal, I would say? Obviously, we've talked a little bit about it. And one of the things we've talked about is like, how big do you want to go? Because I think there's this perception that like more is always better and that you just have to keep growing and you need $1 million a month business and all of these things. Have you figured out what you want your goal to be at, or is it still kind of work in progress?
It's definitely a work in progress. I know that 200, 250, I think, is very much within reason, maybe up to 500.
Yeah.
And also seeing you obviously grow your business and your life still remain the same.
Yeah.
Right. Pretty much is really my goal. And that was the other thing that I didn't anticipate at $100,000 a month, is that I have a lot of time freedom.
Yeah.
Right. And that doesn't mean I don't work. Okay.
Yeah,
I still like work.
You work hard. Yeah.
I build, I focus on like building more assets for the business and how do we make things better, and focusing on fulfillment and, growing the team. And again, those are all new things that I'm doing. But I can still have a day where my calendar has 1 or 2 calls.
Yeah. It's not all consuming. You're not stressing yourself out, laying awake at night, being burnt out.
Yeah. Which is what I thought it was going to be, like calls all day, 1 billion hats.
Yeah.
But when you keep things simple and you build things right, and that was one of the biggest things that, you said in the beginning to everybody, think about what you want your life to look like, what kind of lifestyle you want to have, and let's build the business around it. Because most people just do it. Yeah. They just like build, and then they're stuck with this business where they're like, oh my God, I'm working 17 hours a day and I have no time to actually enjoy any of it. Right. So that's been that was the thing in when I went all in and we did our first 120K, and I was like, Amy, I have so much time. What do I do now?
Like enjoy it or keep building whatever you want.
Yeah. So that was a really amazing feeling to be able to actually experience that. And now obviously it's normalized. But yeah, that's the next goal, 200, 300, and we'll just keep going and seeing how it goes. But the biggest thing is, again, as you grow and you have more time, keep things simple.
Yes.
You can get to where you want to go, obviously seeing you grow, without having to add a million different things. Which only makes it more complicated, right? And again, if you want the $1 million a month business, that's totally fine. But I like to have my life quiet and simple, and actually get to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. And there's been a lot of decisions, or some decisions, I should say, that we've talked about that could take your business in a different direction. Different partnerships, different things. And that's the filter that we're running it through, is like, well, that's going to take your business in this direction, where all of a sudden now you have partners, you have different things, you have different considerations. Do you want that?
Yeah.
Because we can go that way, but like, is that what you really want? And most of the time you're like, no, actually, I want to keep it really, really simple. And I think that's a helpful filter for everyone to have in their mind, of not just saying yes to every opportunity. It's actually about saying no to more things.
Yes.
And being more mindful of, well, why did I build this in the first place? Because I think it's so easy to get swept up in the opportunities that start to come.
100%.
Start to go to every speaking thing, every room, just because you feel like you need to. And what if it's a fluke and it all dies down? But it's just about keeping it simple. And I think you've done a really, really good job of that. Okay, one of my questions was going to be, what's the most surprising thing being and building your business to over 6 figures? It sounds like just that you can do it with systems. Is that, or is there anything else?
Doing it with systems where it's super predictable, right? Where you're just like, oh, like I know we can replicate this next month. And this month, we had the 4th of July, where nobody shows up to calls.
No one's doing anything.
Nobody's
for
doing
that
anything.
weekend. Yep.
And I've been almost like a week and a half off, like Meta can't really run my funnel, but it's still working. We obviously figured out alternate ways of getting around it. But even with those slowdowns, it's still predictable, it's still happening. But the second thing is, just as I mentioned, just like having actually time freedom to enjoy my life and enjoy the money, right?
Isn't it crazy that that is something that's so rare in business? Whenever I share anything about your story, so many people reach out and they're like, oh, that's so rare. I'm like, why is that the rare thing that you can actually like enjoy life and have a successful business?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's definitely periods where you got to put in the work.
100%. Yeah.
But it shouldn't be such a crazy outlier
No.
that is possible. And I think it's because so many people just don't know how to systemize it, and they end up wearing every single hat in their business forever until they burn out.
Yeah.
And then they burn it all to the ground and they're like, okay, next business model.
Yeah. Or the other thing that I also see is where they outsource everything and they continuously have to pay like agencies and they don't know how to do anything in their business and they don't have anything really proven with data. So it's this kind of like vicious cycle of constantly having to outsource and like not quite getting the results that you want, and your, overhead is so much higher.
Yeah.
Like my overhead is like
very low.
very low.
Yeah.
Very low.
And the best thing is, because you knew how to wear every hat, now you're a better manager.
Yes.
Now you have confidence that, God forbid, anything happens to anyone and they walk away, you're not freaking out going, oh my gosh, I need to hire the next agency, the next person, because you know how to run your business. And I think that's so important. It's really easy in the beginning to get tired of doing all the things.
Yeah.
But, and I've done it in every business too, you know, that where it's kind of a grind in the beginning when you're learning all the systems, you're building all the systems, but it's also the most valuable period of time.
For sure.
Because now you understand it, and now you can actually run your business instead of just pay other people to kind of solve problems that you don't know how to solve.
Yes.
What would you say has been, we've talked about this a little bit, like what's been the most valuable thing about working together so far, would you say?
In both containers, because I've worked with you in like creator launch and then the higher level as well, it's just having the support of knowing that I'm on the right track, right? So anytime that I have questions, because obviously there's always going to be new things that come up, whether it's with Meta or just, in general.
What the heck are Meta doing this week? Yeah.
Or, my mindset, or even just like as I grow, having your support and the team support to just get direct feedback is everything, right? Because it gives you a level of confidence in the uncertainty as you're building something that you've never done before, right? So that's the first thing. Secondly, of course, it's the systems, beating it with a dead horse, but the systems are everything, learning how to do everything in my business. So should anything happen, God forbid, I can always step in, but also, again, better delegator, better manager, better leadership as I grow. And, that all of that encompasses working with you who has done what I want to do, right? And so just having that guidance is truly invaluable. Yeah.
Okay, so last question for you is, what would you say to someone who's considering joining either Creator Launch, Creator Pro, considering working with us, but let's be real, is really questioning if it's going to be the right home for them, for their business, and is feeling a little bit of that fear come up?
There are so many good things to say, obviously, right? But the first thing is, of course, I'm going to say, just do it, right? Because I have invested in so many different types of programs, like over 6 figures.
Yeah, you've done all the programs.
Everything from like business to dating to health. Like I've done everything under the sun, personal development. And this has been by far the best program at an insane price. Okay. So like relative to some of the other programs that I've paid way more for and gotten not a lot of value from. And the thing is, if you are on the path to creating, whether it's like your first 10K or your first 100K or your first 200K, the reality is that you're going to need to continuously go all in on yourself, right? Which is why I feel like I've had the level of success that I've had, because there's been many times in the process of building, I had not seen the ROI yet.
Yeah.
Right. And if I allowed that to be the reason to not continue forward, right, knowing I need more support, knowing I need more skills, then I wouldn't be here today, right? So the biggest thing is just really focus on like where you want to go, and then align with the people that are going to help you get there. And especially with your team, the biggest thing, 2 things, is that number 1, the systems are so clear, so easy to follow. Like if you know how to follow a plan,
very anal.
If you know how to follow a plan, this is the perfect place for you. You just do the checklist. Okay. There's set
literally
up for
a
you.
checklist.
It's literally set up for you over the next 90 days. Okay. That's the first thing. Like if you just execute, you will see results. The other side of it is the level of support and the level of customization and personalization is the thing that made the difference for me, where I was, having you or someone from the team, Brooke or Hunter, looking at, hey, like this is great, or hey, we would maybe want to change this, or let's just take this out. Like, why don't we try this fruit? And having that direct feedback every point along the journey. And sometimes I would ask a lot of questions. I was like, hey, it's me
so
again.
What you're doing? Yeah.
And that really, really helped to accelerate, because then I would be able to just like take that feedback, implement right away. And then the next roadblock that comes up, I wasn't alone, right? I had experts in my corner to be able to help me accelerate that journey of the process so that I obviously could hit my goals.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yay.
And I'm so excited to see where you're at. I know it's only the beginning. As much as I am very sad to have lost someone on my team that I dearly love working with, it's always a good reason when they sell themselves on actually becoming a part of the business as well. So I'm so, so proud of you. You're absolutely killing it. And I know that there's only amazing things ahead, and we'll continue to work with meta issues, solve more problems, do all the things necessary to grow.
For the 200.
I know, literally. We're going to be creating a video like every
next month.
No, it's going to be great. But thank you for sitting down and walking through the journey. I just think it's really helpful for people to hear the behind the scenes, the real stuff, not just like, yay, from here to here.
Absolutely.
Because there's been so much to it. And I truly don't think that you would be here had you not been able to overcome a lot of those mental hurdles along the way. Mochi wouldn't be here. She's got that hairball. No, I truly don't think that you would be here if you weren't able to overcome just a lot of those mental hurdles along the way. Like I said, like information is aplenty. Information is everywhere. Even with a checklist, sometimes we can still talk ourselves out of it. When the first person comments on our posts, or we start to see, the success that we wanted, we can start to shrink and hide. There's so many things that go into creating a business beyond just systems and checklists and things like that. And you're a walking example of what it looks like to just overcome them every step of the way. So thank you for sitting down with me. Thank you for sharing with everyone. And we'll see you for the 200K video.